Welcome to our video on underwater corrections in our dive programs, dive number 1 and dive video number 1. Here I'll open an image using the history browser. Open this raw file by double-clicking it, and everything that we're now discussing, this entire module, is the same for both the photo program and the video program. They work the same way. So let's take a look at what we can do here. And if we look to the right side, we see the module underwater correction. That's this entire area. It's a very large and powerful module. The easiest way to process a photo or a video is to select one of the presets above, or one of the templates, such as oceans and seas at 5 meters depth here. Then the entire module is configured according to this presetting. You can modify these values, of course. For instance, you can say, I want to make this a little brighter here. And if you do that, then the program makes the necessary adjustments. That's the first and easiest way for you to know the program. And I'll reset that for now. Let's take a more detailed look at what we can do in these areas. The most important area is definitely the one for water depth, which is this correction area. You can set the water depth. And I'll set 9 meters, and we can already see this setting brings out more color, a bit more brightness and brilliance. I'll click the right mouse button, that was the original image, and release the right mouse button again. That's the image at a water depth of 9 meters without further corrections. And below that, you see the motif distance slider, which is the distance between you and the object you want to emphasize, the main object. And where diving is concerned, you have a water depth and a distance to the object. The calculation of these two distances yields the light absorption correction, since light is absorbed by the water, and this happens differently for the different color components. First, the red light between 5 and meters, then the green light, and at the very end, the blue light. Everything is dark. The light's gone, so the image is essentially black. In the upper diving areas of up to 25 or 30 meters, however, you can still do quite a bit. So if you want to try configuring the areas on an individual basis now, I would recommend using one of the templates for the areas, such as 16-meter water depth. This sets a water depth, a motif distance, and a red correction that are suitable for such motifs. And if you're thinking, but the object I want to focus on here was a little further away, maybe 8 or 9 meters, then configure that. You don't have to be 100% exact here, meaning the distances don't have to be correct down to the last meter. You can check that visually and correct it as needed. So if you think, oh, I like that better, then just use those settings. These settings are always a matter of taste and your perception, say how you perceive the shot. So let's go back and set the default depth to 16 meters again. And your second step should always be to zoom in on the image. When you do so, you see there's still quite a lot of image noise. And to take care of that, we turn to the upper noise image area, where we can select a template, such as significantly denoise. That removes the noise, we get a smoother image, and the details become more visible. For further processing, it's very important that you denoise the image appropriately. Then the adaptive algorithms have a better effect and can analyze the image better. Image noise also disturbs algorithms. So we've therefore used a template to remove the noise and set the water depth. And the third thing I always recommend for photos like this is trying out intensive or very intensive in the photographic area. Very intensive. That brings out more brilliance and details in addition to increasing the definition. And here you have the definition control at the bottom. Here are the details, color, contrast, and brightness. And we can also add a glow using the aura effect if you like that better. I personally don't like that effect very much for this image, so I'm going to reset it. So you see, you can modify all of that retroactively. And if you want to modify color components, you can intensify or weaken the individual colors here in the palette module. The blue is too strong, for instance. I'll reduce the blue a little bit, and then adjust the orange to get even more of these colors. then I've created a great image, maybe with just a few clicks. And I'll show you that now in the comparison view. You can see here at the top. I'll click on that. You can see the original image on the left and the result on the right. You can move the slider, that was the original image, and this is what it looks like in process form. All you have to do to achieve these results is click the 3 presets here in the categories and maybe make a few slight color corrections. Yeah, well, I hope you like what you see. Goodbye, and we'll see you next time.